Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
Today we're covering the Netflix animated movie Animal Crackers.
In this movie, a family must use a magical box of animal crackers to save a rundown circus from being taken over by their evil Uncle Horatio Huntington. And this box contains magical animal crackers, you just said that can turn a person into any animal.
Well, they have to clarify
it's animal cracker squared.
Yes, they have to clarify. I guess they need to clarify that it's magical.
Well, join us for this magical squared, original, and fun movie.
Yes. And before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on future podcasts and roll the pause videos.
Especially on animal crackers.
Right. So this one was actually a really different movie because I actually had seen a trailer for this years ago, but the movie was nowhere to be found. The thing was supposed to be released in theaters, but the company went bankrupt and they almost didn't release the movie. Netflix bought it and released it on their service 3 years later.
And it was worth the wait because it was really fun. I mean, when I first heard it and first saw what it was about, I wasn't too sure it was going to be enjoyable, but we watched it, and not only was it enjoyable, but again, it was a very unique concept. At least for me, I had never seen it before.
Yeah, me either.
And it was fun, and it had a fantastic, star-studded cast.
Yes.
So let's tell them about the cast.
You had Emily Blunt.
If you remember from The Devil Wears Prada, and most recently Mary Poppins Returns.
You have Danny DeVito, the ever-hilarious man.
John Krasinski, who actually used to be on Saturday Night Live for some time. You also had Ian McKellen, who we love in many movies, including as Magneto.
They have Raven-Symoné.
Yes,
that was a surprise. I had Sylvester Stallone, Patrick Warburton, Tara Strong, James Arnold Taylor,
Gilbert Gottfried.
Right.
That was a real surprise.
And Wallace Shawn,
and some others. It was just fun. It was fun hearing the voices and figuring out who they were.
Yes. And in the film itself, and you hear the concept, like I said, it's something you actually hadn't seen before. Making animal crackers have to turn into animals is just such a fun little idea. And seeing it come to life on here, they actually took full advantage of using that concept and putting it in the perfect setting in a circus. And you get like lots of story and lots of backstory for all the characters. It's not they just drop you in the middle of a scenario and then you get a reveal as it goes on. They tell you the backstory of how the circus started, how this family ended up where they are, and why they need to save the circus, and then you see stuff that comes up later for the box of crackers, and you get everything straightforwardly. It's not like hidden things and you gotta reveal. They do like 1 or 2 reveals, but it's not like some that they put to the side and then suddenly that, oh, this is a reveal, and it's like, you didn't tell us, you didn't give us anything to give us a hint. It's like one of the most perfect plots.
Yes. And what also was fantastic is for the family members, all the family members were there. They weren't dead. All the parents were alive.
Yes, for once. And it definitely wasn't Disney. No offense, Disney, but that trope's gotta go. Yes, it was fun. It was great seeing that the whole family was there. Even the ones you thought that you weren't gonna see again were still there. And it has such a large cast, not just with the family, but with the circus performers. You had a large cast of villains, side characters.
Too. That's what I thought was really wonderful. It showed many different groups of families, and what people comprised that family, and was really sweet because it had a happy ending, which always makes me happy.
Yes.
But yeah, you saw many different types of families within this movie. And all the family members were alive. That was the best part. I mean, you had, I think it was 1 or 2 that were like great-grandparents or grandparents that had passed on.
Right.
But other than that, everybody was here. So it was a lot of fun.
And as the story goes on, there was never a point where it felt like it was supposed to be the sad moment or the miserable moment. Usually you have those parts in the movies where it's the sad part and it's the uplifting part. They touch on it for like maybe a minute, but it never drags down into being like, oh, this is the depressing reality hitting part of the movie. It stays fun the entire time. And they even like subvert a lot of tropes. Like usually if one person wants to save a place, the other one doesn't, giving up on it. But despite that, they still support that they did it. Instead of it just being an argument and then they have a falling out. When the father saw that his wife was actually helping him fix up the circus, he wasn't upset or jealous or anything. He was happy that she wanted to do it. And he even had another thing where all of them were into the same thing. All of them were into the circus. It wasn't like one found the circus weird and one loved it. And multiple times they had the couples fall in love at the circus.
Yes.
So it was a whole big unison of a shared love of the circus.
And the young lady, Lydia Taylor, voiced Mackenzie, who was the main character, the main child, MC, the main child of the movie, and her parents were Emily Blunt and I forgot who did the dance.
Shoot.
It wasn't Danny DeVito.
No, Danny DeVito was the clown.
Was it Patrick Warburton?
No, he was actually that big blonde guy who you could tell he was playing the idiot because he acted like an idiot. Well, we know
we had so many other voice actors. She had Cam Clark, Debbie. What's her name?
Debbie Berry.
Yes, thank you. So yeah, the point is, she was the main character, and she was the one who was causing the story to move forward. She loved the circus. She was the one who was causing them to go on the trip, to do the things that happened. She motivated the dad to do things that he really was hesitant in doing, and then she motivated the parents to, as you mentioned earlier, to take part in the circus and to do things that need to be done to not only save the circus but also save some important people.
And when they have the crackers, they always have this thing where there's also be one human cracker, so they can turn back to their normal form. So how do they turn back? If they eat the human cracker, they'll go back to normal. But if they lose the cracker, then they're stuck as the animals, or they just keep turning to animals forever. And in here, that they can talk as animals, and they were wondering, how do the animals do all these performances and these tricks? They're like, how did you train them to do them? So when they're actually people that eat the crackers, and then they're the animals, and they're performing all these crazy tricks because they're really human. So that's how they've gotten so many people to love the circus and watch the shows, because it's the humans being the animals performing all these crazy tricks and moves and playing guitar, doing acrobats, and doing all sorts of things.
So it's a really fun, sweet family movie, and it can be watched by children by themselves safely. It can be watched by families. It can be watched by anyone. It's definitely like this Trailer for Everyone movie. It is absolutely for anyone who wants to watch.
Yes.
And I would love to see another story or movie written by this person, because again, it was something I'd never seen, thought of, or heard of, and it was so unique. Animal crackers. I mean, animal crackers are what was, causing the changes in people and helping to stop the circus with acts. So it was written by Scott Christian Sava and Dean Laurie. Wrote the screenplays. And the novel was written also by Scott Christian Sava, so he had a hand in writing the screenplay as well.
So that's wonderful. He gets to bring his story to life in animation. And I don't think...
And he was also one of the directors.
That's true. And it's great, and I think it's a good move they put in animation, because I know something like this they would turn to live action. But I think it worked better with animation because of how expressive everything could be, how colorful it could be, the animals...
Things that were impossible in real life could be done in animation.
And especially when they had, also when they got towards the end of the film, it wasn't just, turning to the animals, that they actually had this thing where it was actually a neat idea that was like, you ever had questions about watching a movie, what else can you do with the crackers? Well, they had this thing where if you break the cookie in half or parts of it, you'll get a part of the animal. and then you have to find the human pieces. So it's like the same things. They could turn into hybrid animals. They could turn into chimeras. They could turn into, well, basically all sorts of combinations and things. Even turn into several animals at once. So they're really got creative towards the end with the cracker concept. Unfortunately, it meant that there would be somebody who wanted to become an all-powerful animal, but still, there was a great concept, and they kept doing everything that you thought something that was like immediately put into the movie. Like, okay, here's what else we can do with that. What else we can do with that? What else we can do with the crackers?
Well, he's got some really great writing experience under his belt prior to having this screenplay done based on his book.
Yeah.
He's written for Casper the Friendly Ghost, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Star Trek, Spider-Man. He's done videos for Huey Lewis and the News. So he's not new to the game, but now his work is standing out on his own, which is fantastic. Also, he's already written a script for Animal Crackers 2. As of August 12th, he's waiting for Netflix to give a green light for it to be put into production. So come on, Netflix. I can't wait to see what the second one will be like, since the first one was so fantastic.
Yes. I kind of wondered that, because I was wondering, like, if this ever gets a sequel, what else can you do with the crackers? And just, pray that it's just as magical as the first one, because we have seen numerous occasions. There are some great sequels out there for first films, but there are times when a sequel unfortunately doesn't do as well as the first movie. You can tell there's just not as much heart onto it. But hearing that he's already got a story planned out before they even greenlight it, that means probably a good sign that it's going to be a great idea for a sequel film.
Right, because this movie actually came out, as you mentioned, in 2017. So we've just are waiting and excited for the sequel. Netflix has, again, we love Netflix, as you guys know, and Netflix is wonderful about greenlighting projects that other people wouldn't. So we're going to expect Netflix to greenlight this after the great reception that was received on the initial movie.
Yes.
So if you guys have seen Animal Crackers or read the novel, let us know what you think in the comments below. If you haven't watched it, it's still on Netflix. It's a Netflix original, and you will absolutely love it. It's adorable, endearing, fun. It's got a little bit of drama in it, but it's not dark at all, and you'll absolutely love this movie.
Right. Oh, and be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on future podcasts and World of Paws videos.
And Animal Crackers too.
Yes! So thank you so much for watching. I'm Musk Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.
And reporters sitting, flashing lights, trying to walk around, man, who the hell are you? What you wanna do? Well, man, it's on you. Man, it's on you. Hit her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket. Give it to you later on in the form of a locket.